Harper. So
We got her.
All right. Are you ready?
I sure am.
Kick it off, Ski Cat.
Josh Arnold, investment consultant, brings you Garage Logic Podcast number 1657, November 10th, 2025. Record high on this day was 69 degrees in 2012. That surprises me. I would have anticipated the record today was back in 1975 because I remember when the Fitz went down, it was really, really warm weather in the Twin Cities. And 3 degrees was the record low in 1986. Do yourself a favor and call Josh Arnold at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake,
Can you turn that up or is it my headphones?
with Chris
Your
Reavers
headphones,
from
probably
the
me.
Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop,
Nope.
John Height in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Souchere.
Okay, I can't help myself. I'm out there looking up Christopher Hitchens, a noted atheist conservative commentator, now dead, from the UK, and he was very outspoken in his opposition to Islam. And then I heard this.
You want me to set it up or you just want me to play it again?
No, I mean I'm doing something serious, and you're howling and calling for Rook to run in and listen to this, and this is what they were talking about.
Okay, so I have two brothers and a father,
Yeah.
and they are truck drivers.
Okay.
And
We need truck drivers.
we do. We absolutely do. And, during harvest season, there's a lot of downtime because you're waiting. You're sitting around and you're waiting for whatever
Is this
you're
a
waiting
long
for.
story?
And I get a text from my brother this morning. It says,
Check it out.
you have got to watch this. And a lot of the times he'll say, hey, I think Joe might be interested in this, things like that. And he sends me this video.
It's a guy,
It's a guy in his bathroom.
He's on the throne.
He's on the throne.
and his flatulence sounds like the beginning of is it
Wicked
Love?
Game by Chris
Wicked Game
Isaac.
by Chris Isaac. His flatulence is uncanny.
And I, yeah.
Oh, my God. That is wonderful command. Wonderful command.
It's just, you know what? I don't mind playing it because my hat's off to the guy.
That's Hall of
If I
Fame.
can do that,
Hall of
that's-
Fame.
That is. It's
Flatulence Hall of Fame.
That is Hall
That's
of Fame.
right underneath the crepitation contest.
And we only have winners on this show. That guy's the winner.
And you
I
know
don't
what?
know what the contest is.
Oftentimes, social media can be the death of a lot of us, and it can be a cesspool. That right there is exactly why social media plays a significant role in society.
I'm interested that you brought up social media because I've had deep
That's why
thoughts.
we have a guru.
I've had deep thoughts today. The local, well, with the exception of American Experiment, Alpha News, maybe the Minneapolis Times, the Reformer, Sahan Journal, but they don't do it often enough. The conventional news gatherers in the Twin Cities, the television stations and the Star Tribune, the Pioneer Press, they do not take Ilhan Omar seriously. By that I mean, I think I've said this before. If I ran the Star Tribune, I'd put one or two people on Ilhan Omar. That would be what's called a beat. That would be their beat every day. I would have them because I don't she represents Minnesota in Congress, and I do not think she has the best interests of America or Minnesota or Minneapolis as her working motivation. I really don't. And it would be important for the citizens of Minnesota to realize what exactly she represents. I think she represents a very good lobbyist for Somalia. I don't know why people are desperate to leave Somalia. It's a wreck. It's utter chaos. It's not functioning. No functioning government. Why such fealty to Somalia is beyond my imagination. Unless, again, there's no difference between the government and religion in the world of Islam. Unless it is her wish to bring more Islam governance to this country.
Yeah.
This is just me speculating on the Garage Logic service road of life, because for the life of me, I don't know what she's ever done for anyone.
So you're saying that she might not have in mind the 35-year veteran that worked at the Ford plant that's retired now and is living in South Minneapolis across the Ford Bridge and wants to live out his or her life.
Nope.
I don't think she's aware of that person. You're right.
But that's what South Minneapolis was made out of at one time.
Yep.
What does South Minneapolis have
Or
to do?
Minneapolis,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean,
Well, but for example, back to the social media. Here's something that was, and I only have it from Facebook, and I'll admonish myself in a moment. Breaking on Facebook under something called ancient history, which might be someone's name or
It's an account.
it's
an account.
to follow.
So take it for what it's worth. Breaking. Ilhan Omar is furious after Minneapolis voters rejected socialist Omar Fateh in the mayoral race. She's now claiming discrimination played a role in his defeat and says the city will soon regret it. Rather than acknowledging that voters chose a different direction, Omar is framing the outcome as unfair. The moment highlights a real divide inside the Democratic Party, where the more progressive wing continues to struggle with election setbacks. It's a reminder that voters make their own decisions and communities choose the leadership that reflects their priorities. Okay, that's Facebook. So I have to say responsibly that it's not been reported by conventional news gatherers,
Nor will it locally.
apparently, nor will it if it's true, that Ilhan Omar is furious after the defeat of Fateh. Because I read many accounts, but they're all social media accounts. And we're trying to keep our head above water here. So I can't place any factual consistency with them, but that she was lecturing tribes of Somalis in Minneapolis. And again, I don't know if that's true. I don't know that Somalis in Minneapolis consider themselves members of various tribes, but the overall tone of what I saw over the weekend corroborates the fact that she appears to be angry that Fateh didn't get elected, but I have not seen any reporting that I can count on that she claims it was because of discrimination. It seems like a card she would play. The race card is constantly being played by her and others, so that doesn't surprise me. You have audio from what?
This is a social media account that chronicled the very thing you're talking about. And in an enraged rant, she demands that her fellow Somalis should get rid of any Somalis who didn't vote for Omar Fateh.
What
for
does she mean
Minneapolis
by
mayor.
get rid of, I wonder?
Basically that they should be cast aside. Not meaning, murder.
Not meaning death.
No. It just means that you should distance yourselves.
Distance yourself from your brothers and sisters who didn't vote for Fateh.
Correct.
Again, but this is only a social media take on this.
Correct. But you could...
But it's undeniably her you're going to see.
100%.
Well, play that for us.
qofka Soomaaliga ah waa qof cadow sare ah dadkaasoo kale
You know what I can do? Do you want me to read what the caption says, or do you just want me to play the audio? Because it is encrypted with the translation.
Well, play the audio.
Okay.
أنا مقالة نول حنوليهين وأنا أرجع أنا قدام قارو حاجر أن هنقف كان وسك هذلا معنا ماله كان ينادر كي واي بديس وحدهن وحلقة يا بقى في شابيال كان واتقانين ده كان كهذلايو ستاربكس كان
Okay,
لفريسكيني
stop.
مساجد.
We get it. She's speaking Somalia.
Right.
Do we know where this supposedly was?
That I cannot tell you. I'm sorry.
Can we presume it was in Minneapolis?
Yes.
It's cold. She might not stay here very long.
Fateh was standing to her immediate left.
Okay. What is and the interpret? Isn't there something online that interprets different languages?
Oh, that's a good point.
Because then we don't have to rely on the veracity of whoever is claiming to have interpreted her language. I thought there was some device you could go to, play something in foreign language, and it would tell you what they're saying.
I wonder if I can play it from
Google
here.
Translator.
Well, there's a translate.com website. That's what I pulled up.
All right. Well, here's
me
what
work on that
Here's
while-
what we'll do. Here's what we'll do.
What are we doing?
Read me what you have as a translation.
All right.
And if we find that it's different, once we figure out this translator deal, we'll correct ourselves.
All right. When a Somalian person becomes an enemy, they become a serious one. Pause as it's playing. And I'm going to... There are people like that living right here in our city. We all see them. Some of us try to dismiss it saying, oh, that person just talks too much. It doesn't mean anything. Or leave them alone. That's my relative. You probably met them in coffee shops. You know exactly the kind of people I'm talking about. You've sat with them at Starbucks. Maybe you've seen them at the mosque once in a while. Maybe you've gone to parties together. You know who I mean. You've seen them. Sorry. We need to get rid of these people. We will never gain power and move forward as Somalians as long as these people live among us. 30 more seconds. And we don't kick them out. The same people, Somalians, we try to defend, they're the ones who want to see us in jail. And she's very angry, by the way, when she's saying this. Who spread lies about us, who make videos claiming we said things we never said. Some people did some things. Who spread lies
I
about
saw
us.
her say that.
Yeah.
By the way, I saw her say that.
On a Somalian
Yeah,
television
some
show.
people did some things and they had a little chuckle about it. That's not a lie. I saw her say that.
Right. And when that happens, there's no way that we can defend ourselves. I can't keep saying all day, I didn't say that because I've got work to do. We're busy doing our jobs, defending you, Somalians, protecting this country, and creating laws. I can't waste every day fighting against accusations of what they accuse me that I said on videos. 10 more seconds. That's your responsibility and your job not to welcome those people. And finally, who work to block and undermine the Somalians in this country from gaining power or having any type of influence?
Okay, here's my take on that. She will not ever come on this show and discuss those remarks. I think she should, but she won't. Those remarks seem to me to indicate exactly what I've suspected all along, that her interest lies in power for Somalis. She doesn't give a bleep about me or you or your neighbor. She I don't know what to think because she has not been studied carefully enough. She's not been followed carefully enough. She has just skated along, playing her race card and being the first Muslim, first black, first woman, this and that and the other thing, and no one's taken her seriously. And it seems to me what she's doing there is scolding the Somalis in Minneapolis who might have chosen a broader assimilation than she would have preferred. She seems to be scolding her brothers and sisters who dare say might not even have voted for Fateh. And that doesn't wash with her. it almost seems as though, again, if all of this is true, I don't deny the presence of the video, but she seems to be scolding people for not electing Fateh.
Yeah.
And then, of course, to play against the sensibilities of the prematurely gray-haired 42-year-old women who live around Lake of the Isles that are too stupid to know what's happening, she's saying, well, it was discrimination. Well, that'll play well at cocktail parties. We're still discriminatory. On and on and on. No, had nothing to do with discrimination. The guy's already in the Senate, isn't he?
Right. And it's almost
Well,
as
based on nothing, by the way.
it's almost as if you people had the audacity to get in the way of a master plan.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
And now, if it sounds like hyperbole and if it sounds like I'm reaching, and if the conventional news gatherers think somehow we've gone off the deep end, then correct me.
Yeah.
Then go to her meetings. You can become aware of them. Record her remarks. Have them analyzed by various experts in town. But that isn't being done. Incidentally, it's not unrelated to this topic. I have a note from Chris in Dallas. Greetings from our Texas redoubt. I write to issue a cautionary note about the win of Jacob Fry. Fry was a uniquely terrible candidate of whom we could say we would regret losing to his predecessor, but that his candidacy had to be embraced because his opponent was so terrifyingly radical. Fry won with a 50.03% of the total votes counted after all the ranked choice tomfoolery. Hardly a mandate. I share your ill regard for ranked choice because it makes voting in elections ridiculously and unnecessarily complicated. I think that's true, but ironically, I think it was because of ranked choice that both Kaoli Her and Jacob Fry won. Don't ask me to explain that. It seems that just barely enough people turned out to reject the DSA and Fateh, but it is wildly out of place to think that Fry will govern much differently than Fateh would have, especially because he hasn't up until now. His Somali language speech at his victory rally was his demonstration of fealty to that constituency and points in the direction that his mayoralty will go. Fateh's supporters, agenda, and movement. Here's the key paragraph because I happen to think Chris is right. Fateh's supporters' agenda movement are not retreating. They are reloading. They have sniffed the scent of their revolution on the doorstep of power and seen it prevail in New York. They will not stop now. The destruction of Minneapolis may slow a tiny bit, but the end game continues apace. A precarious state indeed. From the heart of Big D, Chris Jarocki. Well, that audio that we played corroborates the idea that she's now in a mustering mode. She's mustering the troops again. She's saying we need to be more concentrated in this effort. Yes.
I have a prediction, and I shared it with you guys off the air.
Yeah.
I believe that after watching that video over the weekend, I believe that at some point the Republican Party will try to find a candidate to run against Tim Walz.
They have many candidates already announced running against Tim Walz.
Tim Walz has a horrific track record in the state. I believe he will remove himself, and Omar Fateh will be implanted as the Democratic nominee for governor of the state of Minnesota. And
well,
God help us.
I can't get there with that because I don't think he'd have a chance to win statewide.
But here's the deal, Joe. He already holds state office.
Right.
You only need to win Hennepin and Ramsey County.
Well, he just proved that he couldn't. He lost to Fry.
Okay.
Yeah.
But also, Walz needs to have a backup. He doesn't have a backup plan right now.
What I'll give you is that you're saying what the emailer from Dallas said. He's not done.
No.
He's
and they
not
won't
done.
stop.
He's not done.
He and that political ideology, they will not stop.
So we need to figure out another aspect of this. We called it that. Chris writes it from Dallas. The destruction of Minneapolis may slow a tiny bit. A, is the city being destroyed?
I believe so. Do you guys? Especially after watching Capcella's piece. It's not the same Minneapolis that it once was.
Let's, for the sake of the argument, let's assume that it's being destroyed. To what end? What that asked me to believe that Ilhan Omar and her troops want to destroy the city. I think what that will come to mean is they can make it a more amenable place for them to live out their lives. But for them to make it a more amenable place to live out their lives would virtually be destruction to the rest of us.
Because they're specifically talking about Somalian lives.
Yeah, I don't
or way
think
of-
Ilhan Omar wants to walk down the street and get conked over the head with a baseball bat. I don't
Agreed.
think we're talking about that kind of destruction. It's only destruction to us. It would only be destruction to the Western culture
True.
to suddenly have prayer sirens ringing 7 times a day and women dressed in burqas and no alcohol, no dancing, no music, no this, no that. It would be destruction to us to have no distinction between the government and religion. That's destruction to us. To them, that would not be destruction. That would be a great victory for Allah.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's meant by, to me, that's what's meant. But when we say Minneapolis is being destroyed or that Somalis like Ilhan Omar would wish to destroy it, I don't mean, she doesn't mean physically. She doesn't anticipate a physical destruction. What to us, what the destruction would be the loss of Americanism.
Right.
That would be the destruction. So maybe destruction is the wrong word. Transformation, maybe. Transformation. Ruck, will you go get the
right now.
the big trophy?
With pleasure.
The
As
American.
soon as he grabs a quick bite.
Yeah.
Well, as long as he's in there, you know he's going to grab a bite. The American Experiment has announced the 4 finalists for the Golden Turkey Award. This is what can you take that down?
What do you mean?
Well, we can't see the trophy that he brought in here because you have that up.
But he's got to hold it behind you.
Yeah, get over here. Look at this trophy. This goes to the winning nomination, either Walls for his legal bill, the Gold Line Blue Bus Project, $1 million bathrooms. There it is. There it is. See that? The voting is open. Okay, thank you. The voting is open at the Center of the American Experiment for the 2025 Golden Turkey Award. Look at this trophy. That's metal.
Beautiful.
Remember that at the beginning they didn't have a trophy, and we said you got to have,
gotta have a
trophy.
trophy.
Look at the $100 bills
bling.
pasted
All those
here.
Benjamins?
Oh, this is ridiculous. But the American Experiment has cited in on the ridiculous spending by.
It's a major award.
It's a major award, Fragile. You can vote. There he goes. He's going to take the trophy out to the other room. Vote now. Chris, when is the winner announced?
We are going to announce that at the end of November, I believe.
Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Right before Thanksgiving.
You can vote. Go to AmericanExperiment.org.
Earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
No, the earth is uneven, which is exactly why you should go to North American Banking Company and get your finances in order, because here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. They've been at it since 1998 when they wanted to create a better banking experience for their customers and all of you business owners out there. So do that right now. Check them out online. It's nabankco.com to learn more. You know, if you're tired of just being a number to your big national bank, then make the switch. I did. You should too. By the way, I think I'm due for a visit here.
Whoops.
What's the date today? Oh, yeah, I got to stop in today.
Overdue. I got a call from Bilski.
Sorry, Bilski. I'll be stopping
Are
in
they
later
open
today.
tomorrow?
Why wouldn't they be?
Probably.
Oh, Veterans
Veterans
Day.
Day.
I'm sorry. I would. That's a good question. You know what, Joe? I'll file a report when I stop in. I'm going to go to the Hastings location today. I think I really like that location. Anywho's, it's the same online and mobile banking options as those other big national banks, but the key difference is you get the unparalleled service of a community bank. So once again, check them out online. It's nabankco.com to learn more. Investing in your success since 1998. North American Banking Company, member FDIC, is an equal housing lender.
I think it's safe to say that, well, here's one thing I would do. Find a Somali that apparently has fallen out of grace with Ilhan Omar. Ooh. A Somali who wants to...
Is that allowed?
Who wants to be an American, who wants to assimilate, who wants to enjoy the freedoms of America, and then employ that person so that person could attend all of these meetings that Omar holds and then report on them, because that person would understand the language.
Well, remember, the person that broke all of the food fraud was the Sahan Journal.
Yeah, and she might find them out of favor. The other thing I would do, and we've mentioned this before about Fry, he's got to man up. He either agrees or he doesn't that the American way of life is better than the Somali way of life. Because I happen to believe the Somali way of life is not a way to live.
No.
The treatment of women, the clothing, the stop what you're doing and pray 7 times a day. B as in B, S as in S. Bleep it. But if that isn't, if the mayor of Minneapolis is not going to defend the conventions and traditions of Americanism, then who will? I don't understand why any. Well, I'll stop right there. Here's what let's go to England for a moment. All right, the Londons.
Yep.
You're London. More than 10,000 small boat migrants have reached Britain since Shabana Mahmood became Home Secretary. You could look up Shabama, just the way it sounds. Mahmood, Mahmood. I should have done that.
Secretary of State.
No, Home Secretary.
Sorry, yeah, Home Department.
It means 10,000 Channel migrants came to Britain in Ms. Mahmood's first 66 days in charge of the Home Office. Under her predecessor, Yvette Cooper, it took 74 days to reach the same milestone. She was moved sideways to the Foreign Office by Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer after failing to get a grip on the Channel crisis. Under Tory Home Secretaries, the 10,000 point took 171 days after James Cleverly and 583 days under Priti Patel. Oh, and then it just goes on to say that the pace of arrivals seems to be driven by gangs deploying larger boats dubbed mega dinghies, with many now carrying close to 100 migrants. Traffickers have been able to obtain the dangerous vessels despite Labor's pledge to smash the gangs. The point is that London has just opened their gates to...
In a 2024 interview with Gabriel Progrun from the Sunday Times, Mahmood was described as a devout Muslim. She said, "My faith is the center point of my life, and it drives me to public service. It drives me in the way that I live my life and see my life." She's a former barista. She lives next door to her parents.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Check
Yep.
this out.
She went from the clerk in a coffee shop to home secretary?
Not directly, but that's what her ambition was when she was younger, to be a barista, and she was for a time, and then she went on a different path. But that was her in her younger years.
Well, that's not that far away from, the current president. He was a McDonald's employee not that long ago.
That's true.
Yeah. He worked the cashier, didn't he? Here's what I would do. If I would suggest that maybe Mahmoud is qualified for many, many jobs in England, but that I would think Home Secretary is not one of them.
Right.
Well,
Her alma mater is Lincoln College, Oxford. I don't know what her...
Why is it that it seems as though not every person, but the vast majority of people with that type of ideology have the similar and same background? Activism, superstardom, barista, AOC was the bartender. I mean, come on.
Yes.
it's cold in Miami. I only mention this because the people trying to take over Western civilization by means of the environment, that's all the global warming movement is. It's a bunch of BS. I'm only bringing this up because you know perfectly well if it gets reported that it's unseasonably cold in Miami, it will be blamed on climate change. Of
course.
So I did the sense winds.
All right.
All right. South Florida could hit a low Tuesday of 49 degrees.
Bring in your pets.
Yeah, that's right. That's what they're saying.
Pet warning, yes.
Cover up your plants. And it'll be blamed. It'll probably lead the national news because those dupes fall for it. Or it's worse than fall for it. They aid and abet it. Miami's low was a 48 degrees in 1913. Fort Lauderdale hit 41 degrees in 1913, and Key West went as low as 57 degrees in 1913. Fort Lauderdale records date only to 1895, but Key West records date from 1872. And so they're very concerned down there because it's going to be a little chilly. It's been chilly before. You'll be sold something else. There will be a great attempt to sell you that this too is a reflection of horrible climate change, and I don't think it is. I think it just got cold.
It happens.
It does. It happens sometimes. I also wanted to point out, what is this? No, I don't want to do that yet. I want to do this. Bruce writes from Plymouth. I live in Plymouth, and I just got a door-to-door solicitation for permanent absentee voter registration. Sign up for a permanent absentee ballot, and they'll send you your ballot every election.
How do you know you're going to be absent?
What could go wrong? Again, every possible attempt to fix everything that wasn't broken is taking place in American elections. A permanent absentee voter registration.
It's going to make it easier,
Meaning
Joe.
we're going to try to make it easier for you. You'll never have to leave the house.
We'll never see you again. You'll be able to vote 10 years after you're dead.
And pretty soon Amazon will be delivering you the ballot.
Yes.
Why not? Mm-hmm. Wouldn't that be easier?
Already filled out for you.
Why do you hate the disenfranchised?
I don't know why I do. You know what day this is? I mentioned it, the little weather announcement at the beginning. I'm surprised the high record temperature today wasn't 1975.
Did the trophy infect you somehow?
What happened?
Oh, you're scratching your back after I
Well, you
rubbed the
put
trophy
the
on you.
damn trophy on my neck.
I thought it was clean.
Well, I'm
Maybe it's
itching
full
now.
of
I'm itching.
avian bird flu.
Did you want to hear that again?
No. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
It is so funny that I can't stand it.
It's perfect.
the other day, maybe a couple of weeks ago.
Is there any way? Stop. Then I'll get back to you. Is there any way you can find me the temperature in St. Paul for November 10th, 1975?
Oh, for
Staff,
sure.
anyone?
For sure.
Anyone? November 10th, 1975. I'll take the 9th, 10th, or 11th. I swear to God, I remember when the Fitz went down. It was very, very warm, and that contributed to the hellacious storm that developed over Lake Superior. Yes?
My 10-year-old son had a bunch of friends over.
Okay.
And they were talking about various things, sports, basketball, the Vikings, whatnot. And then someone said, well, what does your dad do for a living?
Yep.
And he said, well, sometimes we get to come in with Dad, and he has a really funny fart button.
Mm-hmm. That's the new one, by the way. I'm disturbed, aren't I? Yeah. I'm just.
We all are.
So the Fitz went down on this evening, November 10th, 1975. And I have a big correction to make. Let me look at my phone. It's not one that well, here, let me just look at something here. You just bear with me.
I'm seeing 50 degrees.
For what date?
November 10th,
1975?
1975, St. Paul, Minnesota.
Try the 9th and try the
9th, 49 with
Try
a
the-
low of 35.
try the 11th.
46 with a low again of 35.
Well, I don't know why I'm thinking that. I'm obviously mistaken.
Well, is it because maybe the homeless guy that you ran into, maybe they had a different climate up in Duluth?
Yeah, he's the guy who said he came down here for the climate.
Right.
Let me look at something. I know I'm.
Do you want to
But
do
for
this?
the next 3 days,
Here it is. Okay. The mistake I've always made in my mind's eye is I always had the Fitzgerald leaving from Two Harbors, where it took on a load of taconite.
Sure.
It did not leave from Two Harbors.
It was coming. Yeah.
It left from Superior,
Oh, okay.
which is Duluth's next door neighbor, right across the bridge. That's Superior.
Sure.
And for some reason, I made the assumption that it was up in Two Harbors to get loaded with the taconite. And then, but it left from Superior, which must, I'm imagining that it left from the Burlington Northern Docks. So what that suggests to me is maybe the pellets came down to Superior on trains and then were loaded into the boat, and then off they went. But they didn't leave from Two Harbors. For 50 years, I've been imagining that wrong. They did not leave. Two Harbors is considerably north of Duluth. They left from Superior. All right.
noted.
Yeah. What do you want? Oh, well, let me tell you. I hope you've listened to me and taken advantage of that precision garage door offer, because the weather is certainly turned on. It's supposed to warm up again, and you might have another chance to call Precision Door. If you need a new door, Precision Door has models for every budget. They send out a designer. That consultation is all free of charge, and GLers get $100 off a single door right now and $200 off a double door. If you like your door, there's nothing wrong with it, but she's acting up. She's making some groaning. She's acting up.
Grr.
You don't want to take the chance that she's going to
What
pop
kind
a,
of groaning?
well, you know, kind of a... Yeah, kind of like
Just
that.
like that.
Then they got a noisy door tune-up special for $149. Take that thing. It's got a 25-point safety inspection. That way you'll get the preventive maintenance done, and you'll be good to go all winter long. Book online at PrecisionDoorMN.com or call Precision Door at 612-263-6985 to schedule your free Precision Door on-site new door estimate or book a noisy door tune-up special.
end of the world as we know it, and he feels fine. Joe Souchere.
Awaken 180 Weight Loss at awaken180weightloss.com. Here's the thing, GLers, if you are ready to make that switch and live a healthier life, then you know what? I got to tell you, I'm really, really happy with my partnership here with Awaken 180 Weight Loss. You know what? I haven't weighed myself in yet this morning. I'm going to do that later today when I get back home. But it's such a fantastic program. Your energy level is going to go up. There's no medications. There's no working out. There's also no gimmick. You eat. You listen to your coach, and you make small adjustments along the way. And most men are going to lose between 4 to 5 pounds each and every single week. And you know what? I feel so much better since I've been on this program for a couple of weeks now. And you know what? You should do that as well. 844-346-1800. That's their phone number for that free consultation. Or you can just go online as well at awaken180weightloss.com. Like I said, you eat to lose weight. There's no gimmicks. And you know what? You'll be happy if you did that. And when you get in touch with the people at Awaken 180 Weight Loss, please do me a favor and mention that you heard about them right here on the Garage Logic podcast.
You know, I did a lot of reading over the weekend about the fits because with each passing year, we're getting to know more and more about who the 29 people were. Mm-hmm. And they were romantics in the sense that many of them were bus drivers or, school bus drivers or short order cooks or farm in some farming capacity. They didn't grow up on the water. They were just regular guys who got jobs on a boat.
Deckhands.
But I got to thinking, even if the 29 had been, let's say you had a crew of 29 on the Ed. They called it the Ed. A lot of the guys said the Ed. If you had a crew of 29, all were veterans of, say, a couple of America's Cup campaigns. Sailing racing, and they knew the ocean, and they fell in and survived and got back on the catamaran. The America's Cup is a shame compared to what it used to be. The stuff they're sailing now, I don't even recognize. But anyway, if that was the crew, they wouldn't have survived. I guess what I'm trying to say is it doesn't make any difference who was on the boat. You were going to die that night because there was no way to survive the ferocity of that storm.
Well, that's interesting you bring that up because what I did not realize, I know, and I'm sure other outlets have done it. Fox 9 did an what would you call it, an expose on this?
No, I would probably call it a documentary.
I have not watched it yet, but I've seen snippets of it online. And one of the things that I did not know, and again, I know I'm an idiot, I did not know that there was a second ship.
Well,
Arthur Anderson.
Arthur Anderson's been part of the story since day one. But I can't really criticize you because I thought they left from two harbors.
Right. But I guess the reason I'm not necessarily arguing with you, but that ship did survive.
It did. He even, at great reluctance, the captain of the Arthur Anderson was asked to turn around to help. And he did. And at great risk, he did that. But my point is that, the water temperature was 40 degrees. There's no way, even if they were all marathon runners, fit, 30 years old, who's the guy we had on who rowed a boat to the Arctic? He went from South America to the Arctic. If it was all those guys, they wouldn't have made it because it was just the storm was too much, the water temperature was too cold, and if the boat did in fact break in half, which certainly it appears to have broken in half when it hit the bottom, the way they would have been tumbled into the water might have hurt them, wounded them in such a way that they wouldn't have survived.
They went through there in 2019. Sorry, I can't get his name.
That's all right.
Andrew Town, Towne.
Yeah, that was going to
Minneapolis resident.
Yeah.
An accomplished athlete.
Yeah, and if they were all Andrew Towns, they wouldn't have made it.
There is a documentary that featured Dennis Hale, the guy that we had on.
We had him on a couple of years ago.
In 96. Graveyard of the Great Lakes, a shipwreck hunter's quest to discover the past.
What was the name of his boat that went down? The Morel?
Daniel J. Morel.
Yeah. And the Ed, they call it the Ed. Mm-hmm. The Ed was thought to be one of the safest boats on the lake. So
Nature, bigger than man, wins again.
it really does.
So the Anderson was in front of the
No,
Fitz.
Anderson was behind. They were about 10 kilometers behind.
Okay.
And so when they happened upon him, they were asked to, hey, look around. But it's pitch black.
Right.
You
It's the
can't
middle
see
of the
anything.
night. Right.
So even though they were behind, he might have gotten to a point where he would have had to turn around to see where they might have gone down. Because they were asked to turn.
Well, they had radio contact. McSorley said, we were holding our
We're
own.
holding our own.
And that's the last message. And then they didn't hear anything. So they were told, have a care. Now it's a rescue mission. There might be guys around there. And
One of the dumbest pieces I've ever seen in a newspaper was this morning in the Star Tribune, where a columnist is quoting someone who nitpicks the Gordon Lightfoot song.
oh, the 8
God's
things that
sake.
were wrong?
Yeah, it's
Come
like
on.
You're kidding me.
no, from some mill in Wisconsin. Well, no, it was Superior, and that made it sound like the pellets were processed there. You know, it was the dumbest thing I've ever read.
Yeah.
It'd be like if you took a Beatles song, I Want to Hold Her Hand, and you said, it really wasn't her hand, he touched her elbow. It was just the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
So
Yeah,
this particular
unnecessary.
person went John Haidt on the song?
He did. He just
Yeah.
FYI'd the hell
FYI.
out of you. Well, here, I'll
I
tell
love you, Johnny. I'm
Why
not trying to pick
does
on
the
you.
Fitz require? I know regionally it does, but nationally it does as well. It's on every news channel. The anniversary. I mean, nationally.
I think the only answer I can come up with, it was the ultimate dark and stormy night story. The ultimate dark and stormy night.
Is it
And
also
then why the Arthur Anderson is not untouched, but sailed through.
And time is money. I suppose everyone, they would love to have it to do over again. They wouldn't have left, but there were cars waiting to be made.
You sound like a broadcaster. He'd love to have that one back, huh?
Yeah.
here's where my
That thing
mind
was going to sail right into the car plant in Detroit, I think, and they unload the. You could unload pellets at one end of Henry's plant, and a Mustang came out the other end.
It's amazing.
when you brought up the was it an op-ed or a column? I'm sorry. In the
I'm
Star Tribune.
getting it for you right here.
When
It's
you
a
brought
column
that
by
up-
somebody named Robin Washington. It's not all Robin that's doing this. He's quoting some expert. 80% of that song is wrong, from the Chippewa legend that doesn't exist. On and on and on. But he's quoting some guy. What the
You
hell?
call it Gitchagumi.
He's quoting some Rick Mixter.
Yeah, Rick M. Are you sure it's not Rick Maboltov?
It's Rick Mixter, a Michigan-based journalist and documentarian who spent decades chronicling the Fitzgerald and even saw the wreck firsthand in a 1994 dive. Okay, I don't doubt that he's an expert, but what the hell point have you proven
He's a dink.
by pointing out these? Gordon Lightfoot gets a little poetic license to write a song
Right.
that became one of the most famous songs in the world. There it is, right there.
Chilling. You hear that, you stop in your tracks.
Because it's the ultimate dark and stormy
Yes.
night theme song. I suppose we get in trouble for even playing that.
I think
huh?
though we're okay because
50th
we're
anniversary.
talking about this song.
See, the Chippewa, that doesn't exist.
There's Chippewa.
That
There's
is-
Chippewa
I
in
know, but
Wisconsin.
apparently there wasn't a Chippewa leg.
Fantastic song. Here's where I thought you were going with that when you mentioned Star Tribune and this particular story and song. I thought you were going down the Euphorian weather-related climate.
No.
That's where I thought you were going, in all seriousness.
Oh, today that same accident would be blamed on climate change.
150%.
But not 50 years ago. It was
Yeah.
what it was, an accident.
Right.
The Anderson just went out of service last year.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Launched in 1952. It hasn't been out for its 2025 season.
Holy crap.
The Ed was launched in 1958. So the Ed was 6 years newer than the Anderson.
What technology would, think about that. Well, I suppose they upgrade the technology.
If you saw the two boats on the horizon, you couldn't tell them apart.
I do believe, though, that we have finally supplanted the previous Rick with this particular Rick.
Yes, this
Rick
is
Mixter.
Rick Mixter is now going to be the name when you're looking for something.
Hey,
And
what are you, a Rick Mixter?
Can I go totally euphorian on you?
why not?
Oh,
This should appeal to all of our euphorian listeners. But, I maintain this does not necessarily have to be a euphorian point.
Okay.
There's a plan to kill. It's a government plan to kill our government to kill 450,000 barred owls.
I thought we don't do
I'm
that.
not. No, you're not killing. Well, apparently.
Why are we doing this? Are
This
they
is from
imposing?
the Los Angeles Times. A controversial plan to kill one owl species to save another has cleared a major hurdle. The full Senate bill last week struck down a GOP. See, the GOP is trying to prevent the culling of up to 450,000 barred owls in the Pacific Northwest over 3 decades. It's a major win for environmentalists and federal wildlife officials who want to protect northern spotted owls that have been crowded out by their larger, more aggressive cousins, the barred owl. In recent weeks, they got an unlikely ally in loggers who said scuttling the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service plan could hinder timber sales. But it's a blow to an equally unusual alliance that includes right-wing politicians and animal rights activists who argue the cull is too expensive and inhumane. The Trump administration leaned on Republican lawmakers to get out of the way, scrambling party lines. Oh, I just think this is terrible.
Well, you'd think that then this spotted owl would become more aggressive and fight off the barred owl on their own.
I feel a lot of relief because this was one of the most major threats of the long-term continued existence of the northern spotted owl in many years, said Tom Wheeler, executive director of the Environmental Protection Information Center. We've passed this hurdle, which isn't to say there aren't other hurdles or road bumps up ahead, but this feels good. Wheeler described the failed effort as a nuclear threat. If the resolution had passed, the Fish and Wildlife Service would have been blocked from pursuing any similar rule unless explicitly authorized by Congress. Now, Wheeler said he and his allies can continue to push for the owl cull to be carried out and for the federal funding to support it.
Who? Wheeler?
What this means is that not only are barred owls at extreme risk of large-scale shooting, but spotted owls in old-growth forests are at risk from chainsaws. Here's what I want to know. Who made the decision that a spotted owl is more valuable than a barred owl?
That's what I'm saying.
Is this DEI? Are we looking for equity in owls here? What is this?
So this is, well, it should be nature taking its course, right?
In May, federal officials canceled 3 related grants in California totaling more than $1 million, including one study that would have included lethally removing barred owls from more than 192,000 acres in Mendocino and Sonoma counties. However, there are other projects to kill barred owls in California, according to Peter Tira, a spokesperson for the California Fish and Wildlife Service. One $4.3 million grant issued by the state agency will support barred owl removal in the northwest part of the state, along with other research. Another grant issued by NASA to a university involves killing barred owls in California.
Why don't they say hunt rather than kill?
Because it's not a hunt. It's a wipeout. I don't get it. I'm pro owl.
I don't even think that's euphorian, Joe. I think that is.
Can you move all the barred owls to Minnesota? Because I love owls. We hear one once in a while in our back.
Same.
Yeah, close to the river, of course.
I actually recorded a video last night.
Don't forget I'm having brunch with Megan tomorrow.
Who?
Megan,
You
my
could-
coworker.
That's fine. Thank you.
They were in the backyard.
Why would they? Are they only in the Pacific Northwest? Because why can't they trap them and transplant?
There are barred owls probably in Minnesota. Well, why don't you look it up? Barred.
Is that with a W?
I just feel terrible.
It's a shame. It's
gotta get 'em out
a
of here.
shame. You're right.
Well, I ain't got nothing against no barred owl.
Who?
Just like Muhammad Ali, I ain't got nothing against him, Viet Cong.
Right.
Barred owls are year-round residents of Minnesota, commonly found in wooded swamps and dense forests across the state, though they are more often heard than they are seen.
Plus, they're important because they get rid of the critters.
Okay, look this up. What owl are we favoring?
Spotted. Spotted owl in Minnesota?
The spotted owl. Apparently, somebody believes the spotted owl will go extinct if we don't get rid of the barred owl.
No spotted owls are not native to Minnesota. The larger aggressive barred owl from the east has moved into their territory in the Pacific Northwest, causing the decline of the spotted owl. While you might see owls, okay.
It sounds to me like the spotted owl aren't necessarily killing. I'm sorry. It sounds to me like that barred owls aren't necessarily killing spotted owls. They're just beating the spotted owl to the food.
They're getting their butts kicked.
They're beating the spotted owl to the mouse
Yes.
or the rabbit or whatever.
Maybe there's a government program where we could feed the spotted owl.
That would be fraud. That would be too much fraud.
We got to feed the
We
owls.
fed 450,000
right here
owls.
from Safari Restaurant.
The Somali guy just said, "Are you serious, Clark? We can do that. We can do that.
We could make some money off that.
Oh, gee whiz.
That's owls. No, I agree with you. That's stupid.
If they-
450,000? What are they going to do with them?
If they said, 1,000, I
gonna
wouldn't
clear
have
them
got
out.
worked up. But you're clearing out a lot of owls. That must mean, by the way, that don't ever tell me that barred owls are endangered if you can afford to get rid of 500,000
Yeah,
of
there's
them.
that many of them.
Dang it. Who's our guy from the fair with the owls?
Oh, remember
John?
he flew to the tree.
Yep.
John from Birds of Prey in Texas.
What do you want from me?
I need an ad from you, sir.
Let's do this.
From the land of Gitchagumi.
That didn't get challenged in the column. Gitchigumi must be the legitimate native name for the lake.
What about what the chef said? It's been good to know you. Too rough to feed you.
Oh, that's in the column.
How? Nobody
that's
can
in the-
verify that. That's a clever line from Gordon Lightfoot saying, fellas, it's too rough. we can't have dinner.
Sioux Falls is going to have to wait a minute because, Rookie, I'm going to do this for you.
Okay?
Because
it's food-based.
I know, it's food-based.
Because those guys want cookie. They want steak and baked potato.
You think the chef was called Cookie?
Yeah.
He didn't challenge the line, does anyone know where the love of God goes when the waves turn minutes to hours?
Okay.
Mixer said, I can't criticize that.
Okay.
Well, thank you for
Yeah, appreciate
allowing
your
that.
support. Yeah, thank you.
I got to find that. I swear to God,
It's an integral part of the song because he talks to the crew twice.
Oh. That makes one of Mixter's criticisms feel a bit like nitpicking. His assertion that Bob Rafferty, a last-minute replacement as the ship's cook, never would have said, fellas, it's been good to know you. Disagreeing is Rafferty's daughter, Pam Johnson. When I talked to Gordon Lightfoot, this is the daughter of the cook talking to Gordon Lightfoot. When I talked to Gordon Lightfoot, he and I discussed if my father would say those words, and I said yes. She said in an interview posted at SS Edmund Fitzgerald Online. Well, you know what, pal? Go bleep yourself.
No doubt.
I believe that the cook would have said, "Hey, can't feed you," and then it's rough.
Here's
It's
something
been good to
more
know you.
important.
Yeah.
It was a song. So what difference does it make if the guy said it or not?
I want to believe
It's
he
a
said
nice line.
it. I believe he said it.
It's a nice line by Gordon Lightfoot.
because I'm a columnist.
I don't think he would have said that.
Hey, Rick M.
What would you have said? Holy
Right.
Christ,
Where's all
we're
that
going,
freaking water
we're
coming
going
from?
down. If you're looking to change locations of your business, expand your business, maybe start a new one, consider Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Business-friendly tax environment with no personal or corporate state income taxes. Sioux Falls is growing, 300,000 people, large, well-educated workforce. Cost of living is low, centrally located and developed industrial parks. Your cost of doing business is under control, unlike here. Contact the Sioux Falls Development Foundation. They'll steer you to all the resources you need to know. Sioux Falls voted #1 best small city for business and careers by Forbes magazine, and South Dakota is one of the most business-friendly states in the country. No state corporate or personal income tax, no inheritance tax, no limits to what your business can achieve, and entrepreneurs are welcome. Go to Sioux Falls Development, that's one word, SiouxFallsDevelopment.com.
Here's a man who spends hours in hardware stores, sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe Souchere.
One of our young assistants just went to the U.S. Game and Fish. Was it U.S. Wildlife Game and
The
Fish?
U.S. Fish and Wildlife
Fish,
Service.
and you discovered what?
It would be $1.35 billion for the entire projected project
Of killing the owls.
Of killing the owls at $3,000 per owl.
Over 30 years.
Over a 30-year plan to remove 450,000 owls, which this was announced to the government in the letter from the Honorable Doug Burgum, the Secretary of the United States Department of the Interior.
It'd be cheaper to round up all the spotted owls and train them to get tougher. Like put them through Navy SEAL training or something. That'd be cheaper
Dun, dun,
than
dun,
to
dun.
kill 450,000 barred owls.
Yes.
Why is see if you can find that, Gabe. Why is the spotted owl chosen to live and the barred owl isn't? What give me an owl. I'll take an owl.
Right.
I don't care what kind you are.
Let's go here.
It's just it's a crying shame. While you're looking that up, I got a note from Jordy, and then I went and found the material. Nancy Pelosi, God help us.
Yeah.
Now, she just retired, right?
Announced that she will be done at the end of her term.
Well, she must have fulfilled all her wishes.
You know
She
what?
made $130 million in stock profits during her congressional career. That's a return of 16,930%.
Man, she's really, really good.
She is really good. And Jordy's angry because he said that's a little better than the return his Fiat stock gave him from Joe and Pat's hot stock tips.
Yeah, right.
Well, I thought I had a piece about this. What did I do with it? I had a nice, I had a big document about this. It's her husband, Paul, who does the investing. But
hang on, I got you.
Investing is easy.
Now's the time to invest.
Invest now.
Time now for Joe and Pat's Piping Hot Stock Take.
where in the hell is it? I had the 5 things she invested in. Or Paul Pelosi invested in.
A lot of that was
NVIDIA was one of them.
NVIDIA was one of them, and I believe she's also a giant shareholder in, I can't remember which Medicare.
Well, here's
I don't know
what
if it's
Paul
United.
did. Rather than invest in various AI startups, because they'll die on the vine, a lot of them will just fail, he invested in the ecosystem that supports artificial intelligence, the chip makers and things like that. So he may very well be a genius, but you can't tell me that are there a lot of guys in America that had a 16,930% return during the years that equaled her congressional career?
Right.
Holy mackerel.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but there is an official social media account called the Nancy Pelosi Stock Tracker.
I am aware of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It does very well.
It really does. Now, either she and Paul are just geniuses or she knows something we don't.
1 hour ago, the Nancy Pelosi Stock Tracker issued the following. Another day, another trade. April Delaney disclosed purchases that caught her eye. $30,000 into LabCorp, which owns Covance, a developer of animal medicines and biotech products, and $15,000 of biotech, which makes diagnostic tools for humans and animals. Here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. There are people who follow this account
Well, I was just thinking
that
I
are
should.
making tons of money. And we know one personally that does this.
I should be. We all should be.
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi posted a staggering 16,930% return on investment, beat the market by 581%. Here are her 5 biggest wins.
Read them to us.
They're making me scroll down.
Well, you can do that.
Tempus AI. So that's a bet on healthcare. That's relatively. On January 13th, 2025, she purchased 50 Tempus AI call options at $20 a strike, valued between $50,000 and $100,000. The stock has surged more than 150% in 2025.
Since she bought it this year, the stock has gone up more than 100%.
Yes.
Well, then to prove corruption, you'd have to find some congressional action involving her that involved that company.
Alphabet is on NASDAQ. It's an AI giant that found a spot in Nancy's portfolio. Even after melting up to more than 45% year to date, I see Alphabet shares as the value in big tech. So that was another one she won. Palo Alto Networks appears to be Pelosi's cybersecurity stock of choice. She got a tad frothy after an 81% 2-year surge.
You know what would happen if I invested in any of those?
They'd all go,
They'd go right in the
fiat.
tank.
They'd go fiat.
They'd go fiat on me.
Wow.
That's amazing.
And
Well-
Nvidia Corporation.
NVIDIA.
Yeah, that one. There's other people in on that too. But
They're a chip maker, aren't they?
I believe so.
Well, good.
She outperformed the Dow.
Yeah, by 500%.
I mean,
Well,
She's
it's all-
84.
it's
Go
all-
away.
it's all in the
Go
up and up.
away.
But I love the fact that someone like this, who's been in politics for 40 plus years,
Way too
87.
long.
but they're going to be they're going to champion the cause of the No Kings protest. Thank you. I appreciate that for you doing.
Well,
the
but
work.
she's been fighting for you.
Well, that's true.
She's been fighting
That-
for working people.
That is true.
That's an amazing record. 16,000%.
I wish I could get that. Gabe, why can't you get
Well,
that?
why don't you follow her stock purchases?
I don't have any money to invest.
Most of them probably are not affordable to buy anyway.
Probably.
You know, Paul's in charge of that. Paul, until he got conked over the head by that guy trying to break into his house with a hammer.
Oh, that's right.
Maybe he was trying to steal stock tips. Or
I have a request from Charlie Carpenter, to put Game of Flaws in our lexicon. We have not defined Game of Flaws. That's pretty much a Monday Night Sports Talk term.
True.
That's a game Pat invented. You know, if he's driving the car and makes a wrong turn, it's going to be pointed out to him repeatedly, and he started calling that the Game of Flaws.
Yes.
And we all experience it.
Yep.
It's only males suffer from it. No female suffers from the Game of Flaws.
No.
It's when your helpmeet points out all your inadequacies.
You know, when you went through the trouble to make the bed today, you forgot to put the proper pillows on in the order that they should have been.
I'm willing to be corrected. I'm sure you'll bring this up on Monday Night Sports Talk later today, but I believe that this started with the train ride.
Could be. He took a train ride to
Chicago.
He and the DA, and I don't know. It took about 4 or 5 days to get there or something.
I have to find the time he called in from the stalled train.
The train would stop in every little town, and pretty soon
We got a lot of freight trains.
he was getting harangued for how long it was taking them to get to Chicago. And I think that was the birthing of the Game of Flaws.
Yes, sir.
And it's
Yeah,
just
Game of Flaws.
every man in the world has experienced the Game of Flaws. As I say, I do not believe there is a relationship that exists where a man could get away with it by pointing out the opposite.
No.
You, Rook?
I don't. There's absolutely.
You,
no way
of
can
course,
win.
are one of the few males who would not experience the Game of Flaws.
Oh, I think I have, but on a lighter scale.
Yeah.
It's a Game of Flaws light.
Yeah.
You know, again, that would be my worst problem: making the bed and not having the proper pillow arrangement.
Hey, isn't the Lowry neighborhood in Minneapolis a highly functioning and handsome?
I believe it's right by the Lowry Tunnel.
Well, now that they're getting hit with the car windows being smashed.
I don't
in.
understand this phenomenon.
Well, I can. It's behavior.
But don't have anything in your car.
I wonder if that's Ward 10, because if it is, it's Chugtai.
Let me look.
Where I
got
think
it.
all the people who voted for her have been somehow brain damaged in some way, because they just don't get.
You don't get it.
You just don't get it. She's not your answer. Chugtai, I don't know if that's her residence. I don't know if that's her area.
Walker, let me see.
All up and down the streets there, car windows are broken. Here was my answer on the first go around of the car windows breaking. All the guys in the neighborhood got to get together and, assign spots to be on the lookout. And, okay, I got 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. And you're out on your porch with a shotgun. And the minute you hear trouble, you start blowing that shotgun in the air. No, not at them, in the air.
Okay.
And of course, you'll get jailed for that. But so what? Your car windows won't be broken.
Lowry Hill is in Ward 7. Katie Cashman.
Well, she's gone, and now it's
Let's see
who replaced her, which was a great victory for Common Sense. It was the park board woman whose name escapes me. But in any event, the residents are wondering, what can we do? What can we do? The city should do something. I think the time has come when citizens have to do more and more. The parishioners at an Annunciation.
Elizabeth Schaefer one.
Elizabeth
Pardon me for
Schaefer, yeah.
interrupting.
The parishioners at Annunciation, for example, if they're on the ball, and I'm sure they are, they're never going to allow a shooting there again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's too many eyes now, worried and looking and taking care. Same thing with this. You got to get the neighbors together and say, look, Fred, you got 10 p.m. tonight till midnight, and Bob, you got midnight to 2. I'll take 2 to 4. And then everybody's got a shotgun.
Right.
And you just blow it in the air. and watch the mice run.
Oh, you got to be careful, Buck.
Well, I'm not saying shoot them.
I know, but even in the air. How about bear spray?
No, because then you have to confront them.
You can do that from 30 feet away.
Well, okay, then bear spray.
You got double. Boom, 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 boom. And you can, right in between the eyes, hit them with some bear spray.
Or play that guy, Wicked Love from...
that kind of spray.
Just have that guy play.
Hey, guys, open this. They'll stop and look up and see what's going on.
I was distracted for just a brief moment. I apologize. Henry, who's a loyal town council member, just sent me this video.
You can't be doing that during the show.
No, but it's because you were talking about Pelosi.
Yeah.
This was a piece that aired on Fox News over the weekend about her performance from 1987 to 2025. This is astounding.
Pelosi reportedly raking in more than $130 million in profits from trading stocks during her 37 years in Congress. That's according to a new report by the New York Post. The former House Speaker saw a whopping return of nearly 17,000% while in office.
Wow.
It's just amazing.
17,000%. That somehow is more alarming than the amount of money. Sorry.
Well, is there more to that?
No, that was the clip. But I just thought, that's astounding.
You want to take a time out?
I do want to take a time out. Come back with more bear spray.
Yeah.
Motorman.
Let's go.
This guy wears many hats, just not indoors. Joe Souchere.
Let's go traveling with the Lymans. Oh. It's only because they come to us all the way from the port of Walvis Bay in Namibia. Africa.
The Port of Walvis.
They're just the traveling linemen. Worldwidewaftage.com. We did a lot on this day.
On November 10?
1851, the Sisters of St. Joseph of Carondelet opened a school for girls in St. Paul, enrolling 14 pupils and holding classes in the former chapel of St. Paul. Originally named St. Mary's, their school would eventually be known as St. Joseph's Academy. That's where my mother went.
I think I had sisters-in-law that may have gone there.
On this day,
Joe, today is November 10th.
Is that Choff? That's Choff? St. Joseph is now Choff.
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Isn't that the place where they brought Pig's Eye's original chapel and the workmen didn't know that they were supposed to save it and they just tore it apart and used the wood for other stuff?
I didn't know
That's
that
a story.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
I mean, an interesting story.
It is, man.
Is that the name? Is that where the brewery got its name? Seriously, I'm not trying to make a joke.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I did not know that.
On this day,
Go get yourself a case, Rook.
on this day,
November 10th.
in 1855, Henry W. Longfellow published the Song of Hiawatha. Although the poet never visited Minnesota, his poem depicted locations such as Minnehaha Falls and inspired some of the state's Ojibwe place names, including Bena, Nushka, Osseo, Ponema, and Wabasso. They all had Indian names, see? On this day,
November 10th.
in 1871, guess what school opened? We just had St. Joseph's open in 1851.
Pig's Eye.
Durham Hall.
Cretin High School opened
Cretin
in
High
St.
School.
Paul, named for Joseph Cretin, the first bishop of the Diocese of St. Paul. The school merged with Durham Hall High School in 1987.
How about that end of the football game, losing to my Storm over the weekend?
Yeah, shame on you.
On this day,
Joe, today is November 10th.
in 1880, Captain R.H.L. Jewett received from the government a shipment of young carp with which to stock Rice County's lakes. A government commission had been formed in response to European immigrants' demands for the fish.
What's your favorite Rice County lake?
I'm unfamiliar with them.
Mine's Cannon.
Well, I'm not. I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, my folks live by Cannon
But
Lake.
it's a coffee-colored lake.
No.
Cannon Lake?
No.
Isn't it near Cannon Falls?
No, it's in Faribault.
I don't know. Let's ask Morgan. Don't forget about me.
On this day,
Joe, today is November 10th.
in 1933, workers at the Hormel meatpacking plant in Austin staged the first sit-down strike in American labor history, occupying the factory to prevent non-strikers from operating the equipment. The strike was settled on December 8 after hearings by the Industrial Commission of Minnesota. On this day,
Joe, today is November 10th.
God loved the 29 souls lost. The ore boat Edmund Fitzgerald sank in Lake Superior and 29 crew members drowned. On this day,
November 10th.
Governor Wendell R. Anderson announced that he would fill newly elected Vice President Walter Mondale's Senate seat. He resigned as governor and was replaced by Lieutenant Governor Rudy Perpich, who then appointed Anderson to complete Mondale's term. The move ended Anderson's political career and made Perpich's. Anderson would not earn re-election to the Senate in 1978, but who did?
78?
Would it have been Boswich? Rudy?
Rudy's first time around?
In 1978, but Perpich would serve out Anderson's term and was elected governor in 1982. So Anderson and Rudy got together. This is the way it happened. No, seriously. Anderson said, look, I'm going to name you, I'll name you a governor. You're my lieutenant governor. I'm going to go to the Senate. What if Rudy said fine, and then Wendy changed his mind and said, no, I'm naming somebody else governor? Wouldn't that have been funny?
Yes.
That didn't happen that way.
Lou Wangberg.
Yeah.
It's in that era, too.
On this day in sports disappointment history.
Joe, who'd we lose to on November 10?
On November 10, 2018, Butler was traded to the Phillies.
Jimmy Butler.
Philly.
My God, that was 7 years ago?
The 76ers.
Wow. That's crazy.
On this day,
November 10.
Well, the Timberwolves got their first win in 1989 on this day. They beat Charles Barkley and the 76ers in overtime.
Wow. At the Dome.
Former T-Wolf Rick Mahorn came off the bench for the 76ers.
Refused to play for the club.
Wasn't 89 the Timberwolves' first year?
That's why you just said they got their first win.
Oh, yeah, I did say that. Well, how could by November 10th Mahorn already be a former Timberwolf?
Because he was originally selected by them in the, whatever they called it, the supplemental or franchise draft, and then refused to play for the club. So they traded him.
He didn't like it here?
He sure did not.
Because it was winter?
No, just because they were they were an expansion franchise.
Oh, and he was a superstar?
No, he was a good player, but he just didn't want to play here.
I see.
Yes, sir.
So he ended up with Philly.
Yes.
Is that where he stayed?
Yes.
Had a long, productive career?
That I don't know.
I see.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, G. Ellis.
Yeah.
Since it got mentioned, I have a question for the Rookster.
Yo.
With the Suburban full of pig's eye, how long do you think it took the governor to drink all of that?
He's not a drinker.
Well, that's what
I
I'm wondering.
drink to get drunk.
Yeah.
And if I'm up north with my Southsiders, I'd say about Sunday at about 1:30 in the afternoon. And if I don't have too bad of a sunburn and I got to come back, then Rookie's got to put some lotion on my back. I was as red as a lobster.
Terry wants to put this lotion on.
Plus, I had some plumbing problems with all that pig's eye. I sounded like Wicked.
Sounded like Wicked Love.
Wicked Love by Chris Isaacs.
I believe it's Wicked Games.
Wicked
Yes, that too.
Games.
We played some fun games.
That one really tickles my funny bone.
We got drunk and played Southside Spin the Bottle.
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff is there for you.